Welcome into the Bobby Carpenter Show, and excited to be here with my man, Mr. Anthony Frederick Schlegel. We're going to be joined here by our guy, Mr. Aaron James Hawk. Schlegel, you going to call the Hawks? I mean, you didn't even get a chance to really do. There you go.
Nice. Yeah, get them. Find those little field mice out there. They're just checking on me in a deer stand that I don't get to go into anymore. Good to have you, bro.
Great to be here, Schlegel. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Tell everybody about the shocker that you've been just randomly receiving from all the non-scripted basketball term. Let me ask you this question, AJ. This is also for you, Bobby. Why is it that youth athletics are the most unorganized people of all time? Like, it's literally, we'll get you the schedule on Sunday for the week.
Like, I mean, I don't like.
Why is that?
There's too many. You know, the more kids you have that are involved in more things, then it just becomes tough juggling or figuring out. But yeah, you're right. It takes like I had a baseball coach growing up named John Winters. I just saw him again recently, and that guy was the most detail-oriented, organized dude on the planet. He like third grade travel baseball. He's given parents printed out schedules of every single day of the next 6 months, like from the very first parents meeting. So I think it takes people like that, which I am not one of those people, unfortunately. But when I find them, that's when you know you have a good coach.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, you're not one of those guys. That's why I don't like to be the head coach. I'll just be coaching. I don't want to schedule.
Yeah, I want to coach. I want to coach. I don't want to have to do any administrative stuff.
The other thing is you have to download 47 apps to operate it all with all the sports engine and whatever the heck the different things are. Like, I don't want any more apps. I told Courtney, you're in charge of the apps. Just load them into our calendar. I'm done. No more apps. App free is the way to be. I don't need any more clogging up my screens. No,
that's a fact.
I think I might get an OnlyFans on there, so I can start providing.
You can make some money, man. You can make some good money.
So I've heard.
You just got to give them. Sometimes you just got to give them some, a side chesticle. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. I was hoping that maybe Sherrone Moore might hit it up. I mean, Schlegel, or AJ, what are your thoughts on that, man? Maybe getting Sherrone Moore in there.
I mean, what's going to happen in the next couple months with that guy, and what's going to happen with the Michigan job? All of it is it's wild. Just think of how different his whole reality is. A couple weeks ago until now, it's just I don't know how he's so young as well. It's just brutal situation on all sides, I guess.
I mean, do you respect him going down with the ship though? Like, as soon as it's like, if we're gonna crash this thing, dude, we're just getting pulled over. It's the dude that's been drinking and driving. Instead of pulling over for the police, like, no, buddy, like let's make a run at this thing and see what we can do.
I mean, I guess, how did you expect it to end? That's the thing. Like, if you ever sat there and thought, like, okay, is this a sustainable model for what I'm doing right now? Is this going to be able to last? I don't know. I mean, believe me, I cannot imagine what it's like in his household right now and anyone over there. I'm sure there's some people panicking and trying to figure out what the next steps are, but yeah, it's something.
What you're saying is, I'll be your Al Collins if that's what you need, AJ.
That'd be perfect. That would be great. Like, we could recreate that for the young people that might not know. I remember watching the chase back in the day in the white Bronco, but yeah, I appreciate it. I feel like all three of us, we could all be the OJ or the Al Collins, right?
Who would you rather be in that situation?
There you go. There's a question.
Neither. I don't want to be either, but I guess Al Collins is being a good friend, right? So you want to be him. Is he trying to be a good friend?
Is that what when you talk to your boys and like Lennon about that, like that's what being a good friend is? Look at this guy right here. He's driving that Bronco for his buddy.
No questions asked.
No questions asked.
I guess, yeah. It's one of those friends.
Where are we going? Don't ask. Just drive.
Yeah, just drive.
I think I would ask. I think as an adult, I got to ask a few questions though. I need to know.
What would the question be?
Do you have a gun? Did you kill anybody? Am I going to jail for driving you? Like a lot of just basic stuff like that.
Am I going to jail?
Am I an accessory? Am I an accessory to something really bad? Because even though I appreciate you guys, love you guys, I don't know if I should take my whole family down as well with this. But I could I could like send you. Hey, I give you the number of a lawyer. Then I'm okay, right?
Laura said she'd do a better job raising the kids by herself anyway.
I mean, I'm sure there might be some truth to that. You never know.
Go ahead. Can I? You want to keep talking funny stuff? What are you thinking about? Where do you want to go? I was going to go some. pertinent to something else.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got all the awards lists and everything that's
exactly.
come out. You know, AJ's he was the main dude that won all the stuff. I mean, going around to Walter Camp, and I was looking, he was a unanimous All-American our senior year, Schlegs, in 2005. So that's
unanimous. That means all 5, AJ.
Yeah, all 5. It's a BFD. I know you went on all the banquets and everything. Just recant that time for us. Recount that time that you were traveling around the world, you, Steve Snap, and whoever else may have been squiring you about.
Yeah, I went to a few of the places. I mean, Orlando, I believe. Yeah, I mean, it was different back then. I feel like the different award shows. I was not a huge fan of traveling around and going to a couple. I didn't go to all of them. I went to a couple things. I don't even know what all the names were. I mean, the Lombardi I went to, and then there was one, the Lot Award actually out in California. That one's a cool thing. What they do, I didn't win it, but I went to that ceremony or that like big banquet situation they had. I guess it was cool hanging out with the other players. That's the coolest thing, I guess. It's getting to interact with guys you watch play on TV and that you've been fans of. But after like the first one, you kind of know what the deal is. And, you know, we were in the middle of bowl practice too. So it's like fly home, land, be there. I was landing for 2 hours and then boom, we're right into like a full padded bowl practice right after.
Well, a lot of guys gain a lot of weight. They call it getting on the banquet circuit, AJ. I mean, I don't remember that happening for you. You're already pretty beefed up to begin with. Like, how did we stay slim and trim and ready to maintain the fighting weight?
Well, I mean, there was no circuit for me. It was a couple days, I believe. But I remember getting like a super early morning workout in one of the hotel weight rooms they had down in Florida, I believe, and seeing some random people in there, you know, and then heading off and putting on like a rented tux for one of them, where you had to wear a big boxy rented tux and go in there and eat the chicken they give you and listen to some great speakers. But yeah, it was all right. You know, I wasn't super like thinking, oh man, I better soak this all up and really enjoy every moment of this. I wasn't thinking that. I guess I was just I was thinking about our bowl game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, V Money's asking in the chat, did Uncle Nick by chance give you a supply of his world famous brandy while you made these trips?
We definitely had some of his world famous brandy around at all times, pretty much. So yeah, I think he was definitely a supplier.
In the crown bottles, in the used crown bottles.
Yes.
Hey, when you went there, did you ever take the other person's food that was sitting next to you that didn't want to eat it, or at least their salad, or say that seat is reserved for somebody else so you can then get 2 meals?
I definitely would try to get 2 meals. I mean, that's the classic thing at a wedding too. Oh, did you have the chicken or the steak? Oh, I had the chicken. Here you go. And then the person comes around and you say, hey, I actually had the steak too. And boom, hopefully get multiple meals. But yeah, my parents came to a few of those things. So yeah, I was always, you know, asking, you know, stabbing the steak off my dad's off the pistol's plate, or my mom, you know, she was volunteering, giving me some of her food. So it was always a good thing.
So you're going to be heading out to A&M in Miami, doing a little like look ahead scouting. I mean, that's pretty legit. I mean, you're going to be on the sidelines, sizing up the dudes when they walk out. What are our thoughts? I mean, going into that game, and we're going to have a full breakdown, I guess, next week in a scouting report.
Yeah, you will. I mean, Miami and A&M, both teams are awesome. Like both teams have big time athletes. I think we'll see A&M has some serious dudes up front. Their front four can create some havoc. And I don't know if you guys have watched Malachi Tony, the receiver for Miami, but that dude, he is pretty awesome. It's going to be fun to watch him in person. I can't wait to watch these guys in warmups, just see how big and physical they all are. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be nice, like 70-degree day, I believe. Kickoff is noon Eastern, 11 Central. So a day game. I've never been to Kyle Field. I think it's going to be sweet.
Oh, it's going to be juicy. Talk to us a little bit about, so of all these games that lead into the semifinals, who on the left side of the bracket, meaning Alabama, Oklahoma, Indiana, Oregon, JMU, Texas Tech, who of those are you really interested in watching, and why?
Man, I mean, Texas Tech, what they have done in a short time is pretty impressive. I like their coach. I like what they're doing. So I would love to see.
Have you seen him in person?
No, I've never seen him in person. That's what I think. Seeing teams in person I don't know. It definitely will change your mind a little bit. Like everybody on TV kind of looks similar, but you could tell in warmups when one team is, you know, either much bigger. This D line is much bigger than their D line, or vice versa, whatever it might be. I think being there in person, seeing warmups, yeah, it doesn't like you can't predict what's going to happen exactly, but you can definitely get a good feel on where like each team has a matchup like situation, like who's because it's all about matchups, obviously. And you can say, okay, I think this, let's see how this O line holds up today or whatever. Can this D line get pressure? Like I like figuring that out in warmups.
What are your thoughts? I mean, on Schleg's cousin, Jacob Rodriguez, out of
Mm.
Texas Tech. I mean, guy's won just about every award. He's got a sweet stash. I mean, he checks all the boxes.
Love it. I mean, are you kidding? The guy's like straight out of a movie. What it's like watching Schlegs out there as a 16-year-old flying around the field. So he's amazing. Anyone that can grow a mustache that serious and that thick as a college kid, more power to you. And the fact you're out there making plays and seem to have like a fun, like dynamic personality. I think the kid has it all.
Yeah, he's got great quads. Just a dude checker, just a guy just analyzing other dudes. Sweet last name. Quarterback AJ. He was a quarterback at Virginia that transferred, walked on to Tech. His wife is a Black Hawk helicopter pilot. That's fantastic. He is a throwback, and that's why I'm excited to actually see him good on good versus an Oregon team potentially if they handle their business for JMU. When you look at Ohio State, obviously coming off that last game, how do you think they go into this? Now, this is a longer game prep, right? So last year, you had the Michigan loss, you had the Army-Navy game, and then you were, well, take that back. You still had a lot because I can't stand our scheduling because you had a championship game, but you're able to get right back out there versus Tennessee. How do you, with this younger team, feel that they're going to be able to come out December 31st in the Cotton Bowl versus whoever they play? And who would you rather see them play? Or do we have to wait till next week?
I guess I need to get my eyes on both teams to see who they play. But I think now, like once you get in the playoffs, I think if you're one of the teams in, you're like, hey, it doesn't matter who we play. I don't think you're worried too much which team advances, who you're going to play. Like we know they're all good, we get it. But as far as like handling this off time, I think it's a really tough thing to do, and I'm sure Ryan Day and the rest of the staff have been thinking about it for a long, long time. And what you're going to do, hey, when should we practice? When do we not practice? Nick Saban's done a great job, if you've heard him speak before, about talking about like adjusting bowl practice over his time at Alabama. Like when he was saying early on, we were just practicing through and we were just killing each other from the jump. And, by the time the game came, we weren't really hungry. We weren't ready. We were kind of beat up. So I think they do a good job now of figuring it out because it's tough. It's really hard. You're in this rhythm all season long, all season. Here we go. Like, what's coming. And then you have this little off time. I guess whatever team can handle it well and hopefully get out to a fast start is the key. But also, like, if something happens early, like, don't worry about it. And when adversity hits, it's all right. Like, you're there for a reason. You know that you have the players and you just got to figure out and do what you've been doing all year.
So you coming off a loss, AJ. Last year they came off the Michigan loss. I think they had 20-ish days till they played. This year you come off the Big Ten championship loss. I think you have 25 days until you play. Coming off of a loss versus a win, like getting the edge back, like talk about, we came off one bowl game or one Michigan loss going into a bowl game. What was that like as far as dealing with that and maintaining that edge, I guess, as you move forward?
Yeah, losing sucks. Like, you never, I'd like to learn from winning ultimately, but yeah, you do learn from losing, and losing that's one thing it does. It does kind of help your team keep that edge and stay pissed off and be frustrated and can't wait to get back out there on the field and right the wrongs from the last game you played. So I think it definitely, as far as practice and like having that laser focus, it definitely can help with that. But you got to figure out, make sure, hey, we don't make the same mistakes we made last time we took the field. And I think players, they're so mature, they get it. They know, like, they're professionals in how they go about handling their business and how about like studying and practice and all that now. So I have a lot of faith in them that they will figure it out. And I don't know. I'm just excited, man. I think it's going to be sweet. Like, I think the whole football for the playoffs is going to be awesome.
Let me ask you this. When you go into this bowl prep, and we did it ourselves, you individually as a player, you now as an intern for youth athletics, what do you want to emphasize? What did you want to do during this time to maximize and make yourself better?
During bowl prep, you mean?
Yeah, and like maybe there was an area of your game you're like, man, I really got to go back and I got to work on this, like something that you or Fick talked about or you or your coach in the league talked about, like this is an opportunity to work on these things. What were some of those?
I think I've said on here before, I've always, like, anytime like that where you have like a time where you're not preparing for an opponent, I always wanted to like emphasize my hands and use my hands, whether it's hitting a little low man sled, like punch and get off, whatever it was. I would like think about going into practice, every single like individual drill. I remember just like thinking of using like strike and shed like all the time. I'm a nerd about using your hands. I mean, the different schlegs, like obviously what you've invented is a big thing that can help you strike and shed, and that's a real thing. And I'm like a broken record with my kids and with people that I coach about that. But anytime I had like a opportunity where you're not sitting there game plan, I'm thinking like, all right, I need to use my hands. How can I be more efficient, like getting to the ball carrier, not, you know, going around blockers, not going behind, whatever it is. Like I need to, you know, block destruction and not letting guys get their hands on me, because I'm not that tall. So big 6'6" guy gets to me, he's got me. I gotta head and hands that dude and get across the face and get to the ball.
That sounds so good. You just said hat and hands.
Oh, it's great. So AJ watches the film. He watches games, Schlegs, with his boys like he's watching film. He sits back there like Snides, kicks back, gets a little cowboy remote. Now, when you work on the strike with your kids? Do you take anything off, or do you give them the full deal? Like let them know what's up.
No, I don't. When I'm hitting the sled, like we'll go down the line.
Say, Hendricks, get up here. Time to get a shot with the old man. Kind of like Tim McGraw on Friday Night Lights.
That'd be nice. That would be nice. I have to let off a little bit. They definitely hit me full speed, but we talk about it all the time. All my boys, like they're trying to do the math. They're like, well, when I'm 16, that's when I'll do Oklahoma drill against you. And they want me to put full pads on, and I'm going to do Oklahoma against all my kids. They think I'm already too beat up and limping around now to beat them. But I told them it doesn't matter. I'll be 90 years old and I will still dominate you in Oklahoma drill.
You need to have them see The Usual Suspects and show them that Kevin Spacey limp that you got. I mean, I think that might be, you're just kind of luring them in closer with everything. And yeah, I mean, listen, Hendricks is going to want a shot at the title here before too long, or maybe one of Lennon's boyfriends will come on over and be like, look at your old man sitting there on the couch drinking that Double Crown on the rocks. He's got a limp, got some house slippers on, wears long sleeve shirts to cover up his small arms. You know, I mean, maybe all those things will go running through their mind, and you'll have to give them a shot at the title.
Yeah, I look forward to that day. Believe me, I tell it, don't wake me up. Like my kids are like, don't wake that guy up. You know, you don't want to. But I tell them all the time, my kids make fun of me, like, thank you for the motivation. I'm going to wake up extra early and lift extra heavy tomorrow, because they do like to joke with me and say, oh, Dad, you're so small and old. I'm like, yep. I am, man. I am. It's great. I love when I encourage them to feel themselves and talk trash to me, because I think they need much more of it. They need to take more shots when they're out on the court. They need to be more confident.
Before we get out of here, have you been able to console Brady about the Notre Dame not getting in and everything? And so are we in a good spot now?
I mean, I don't think he's going to be in a great spot about it throughout this whole college football playoff. He doesn't bring it to me a bunch. I saw him at Thanksgiving. I see him all the time. But yeah, he's definitely kind of upset about that, isn't he? I don't think he's going to get over it anytime soon.
Okay. Well, sir, we appreciate the time. Go hop on there with Pat. Make sure you rough your boys up, watch the game film, get them ready to go.
We will. Thanks, guys. I'll see you.
See you, brother.
There's our guy, Mr. Aaron James Hawk. Listen, he's all about punching, striking, shedding Schlegs. You didn't see the clip with him and Pat, did you? Where Pat said, AJ goes, oh, yeah, I rewind it. And they're like, yeah, the Hawk House is 10 minutes behind Monday Night Football at all times, because AJ wants to go back and show him a great form tackle or talk about a great fill on the run game.
Did you see how this guy filmed that? Look at his eyes. Plays square.
Yeah.
Scraped over the top.
I'm like, look at this guy beat him up front. Look how high he is. That's why he can't move. Terrible form. I mean, doesn't matter. Schlegs, fundamentals, they know no age or no
bounds.
I mean, I guess no
age, bounds, demographic,
league level, or salary. They don't care how much you make. If your knees are straight, Schlegs, you're making $20 million. That's not going to help you make an open field tackle, coach. You got to bend your knees, sink and strike. And I know that they teach putting your head behind the guy now, but listen, if you put it in front, I'm not going to yell at you.
Yep. And I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys are ever around young people or coaching or volunteering or whatever in a sport, please just go have a plan and make sure the plan starts with the fundamentals, and make sure you rep the fundamentals every single day. And as you progress in the season, if you did a good job coaching and you're a good educator, you don't have to spend as much time on it, right, Bob? But you got to hit it every single day. It's the greatest equalizer in all of sport.
Yeah, it is. I mean, listen.
That and strength.
You can't block, you can't tackle. It doesn't matter what plays you got going and where you're going to get. The guys got to get there and they got to be able to do the job. The simple things for all sports are the things that matters. It's not schemes, plays, it's not crazy plays. It's making sure your guys can get the job done and do so with a thick cylinder and some nice pipes. Buckeyes. You know how fast the NFL game days move. One big play and everything changes. That's why live betting on the FanDuel app is a game changer. With FanDuel, you can bet in real time while the game unfolds. Score just flipped. Jump on a live spread or a money line. That receiver's heating up, bet the next touchdown score or total yards. Think that drive stalls in the red zone. Take a live field goal prop or fade the total. Live props, team totals, drive results, updated spreads, next play markers. It's all there. It's fast. It's fun. And with FanDuel, your live bets move as quickly as the game does. So whether you're riding momentum or fading the hype, FanDuel puts you right in the middle of every moment. Visit FanDuel.com/bigplay to download the app today for the NFL live all season long. Must be 21 and older and present in Ohio or 21 older and present in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. More of the Bobby Carpenter Show coming up next.
Customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, play your game.
All right, welcome back into the Bobby Carpenter Show. What's so funny, Schleiks? What are you laughing at?
Hey, no, you can't. I will put it in the headlines.
Okay, there we go. You're finding new stuff ready to go at all times. I love it. I don't know if you saw this, Schleiks. Texas receiver, Mr. Legend Bay, who was a Tennessee commit, took a visit to Ohio State in November, flipped his commit, was Buckeye all the way. Then signing day came, and his mom didn't want him to commit to Tennessee or Ohio State. She wanted him to go to Tennessee. She even went so far, Schleiks, as to go up to Tennessee unbeknownst to him like a week before signing day and to maybe make sure everything was all in order. His school didn't know that. He gets there. They have all the Buckeye stuff out. He's got his Ohio State stuff on. His brother apparently took control of his social media account. Schleiks, he sent out his one final tweet saying, anything else after this may not be me. My brother has control of my social media account. I want to be a Buckeye. Hashtag brotherhood. And then poof, radio silence. He apparently signed with Tennessee. Maybe it was his signature. Maybe it wasn't. That's all up for debate. A lot of things there. And I figured, I'm like, how is this going to end? Like, it's not like he is a conscript in war now, Schleiks. Like, it's not like he's just going to be a part of Tennessee and going to go fight willingly and train and do all the things. Like, it's commitment. And by the way, the portal opens up. You can always leave and do whatever. So there's no point in having people that don't want to be there. Ryan Day even says it when they recruit guys.
100%.
I say it's not for everybody. We're not going to have to sell you on anything. We're going to tell you about what we can do. We're going to talk about what we do well. But if we have to sell you on it, well, you know, if you come for the money, you're going to leave for the money eventually as well. So Legend Bay was able then, some breaking news, he applied for Tennessee to release him from his commitment, and apparently they released him from his letter of intent. And Schleiks, poof, David Copperfield, he is signing with the Buckeyes. Now, what I don't know, and I'll have to find out a little more information over at the Woody, is whether or not he'll be able to enroll early. Because that's the early signing period. You have to be able to sign then to enroll early. I would tend to believe that the NCAA will allow him because now he is 18. He wasn't. That's why his mom had to co-sign for him. She would only do it for Tennessee. And since there was some ambiguity of whether or not he actually signed his own name, I would think that would be the case. I'm hoping that's the case. But great to see this guy be steadfast in his commitment. And honestly, I mean, it's like being like people talk about, it's tough to be a Christian in the United States or tough to be this or that. I was like, yeah, go try being it over in Africa right now where they're murdering people. Like this dude just didn't want to be a Buckeye. It wasn't about, well, they're paying me the most, whatever it is. This guy's mom, he had to wait and go through all this stuff and cause all this family drama because he wanted to be a Buckeye that bad. And so, yes, it was a disruption to his life. There was a lot of issues. And I think it's awesome that he did all that to ultimately come here.
Well, it's it's where it's kind of flawed too. And it also shows all the different impacts. And these are few and far between. But this is a real
like
scenario.
one every couple years. It's like a couple times a decade. Yeah.
And that is now the hardest thing for not only schools, but also players as they navigate this of making home comfortable with your decision as well as yourself with that decision. And who do you feel is going to develop you the most and where it is that you actually want to play. And that all matters. And this is just an unfortunate situation that he's had to persevere through, and excited to get him on campus and see what he's all about.
Yeah. Well, Schlegs, if he's coming here, he better be about that life.
Yep. The good thing with Ryan and the staff is, and it also goes to the point, guys, that I think Ohio State is at a point to where with Brian Hartline leaving, right, with Chris Henry Jr. coming, with Legend wanting to come up here as well.
They got a dude out of South Lake. They still have like a class of like 4 or 5 really good receivers, despite the fact that Hartline left. So you feel really good about that.
And that's because the brand, the culture, the continuity within the program is very solid. And that is a draw to people, just FYI.
Well, and it goes in the fact like, hey, it's not just Hartline, which is a big piece of it, but it's Mickey Marotti in the weight room. It's the offense of how it's run. It's the quarterbacks that you get there. And yeah, the receiver development's big. And you have to trust the fact that, hey, Ryan Day is going to hire a hell of a receiver coach. They're going to have a good offensive coordinator. They're going to have the positions that you need to keep this stuff rolling along and feeling pretty
good.
So
we put this in the chat, Bob. They're talking about, I guess we're interviewing the LSU wide receiver coach. And I said,
I was up here the other day. I saw a guy walking around. Anytime, like, you know this, anytime you see a dude in a suit that's walking around with like Quinn or somebody and the non-on-field coaching stuff, you know, someone who's not like a coach per se, I'm always like, all right, well, they're obviously getting interviewed. And this guy, yeah, that's him. I saw him walking around. Someone came up to him and said, hey, coach. So I figured, I was like, all right, that guy must be someone that they're looking at.
Was that yesterday? Was that yesterday?
No, Monday.
Monday.
I wasn't.
I wish everybody just dressed like I did, because I went to practice today and I'm wearing Rocky boots, some KU pants, and a flannel. And it was great.
You went to practice yesterday.
I did. I went for a hot minute.
Okay, hold on. Listen. Yeah, because he came.
Because I had to get back. I had to get back over here to the Armory with Coach Jay and just melt faces. Big time testing
Juicy
weekend.
J. That's what they call him, Schlegs.
Juicy J. He's right over there. Look at him, man. He got beard all
Juicy J, Schlegs, and Juicy A is what they call you. Juicy A. That's what I've heard.
That's what you heard. That's what you heard now. Okay.
Well, that's what they called you in the Diddy documentary, Juicy A. So I don't know.
Hey, you know what? I actually watched that on the Netflix machine. I think it was on.
How good was it?
50 cents. Well, I mean, I think there's only one episode.
I think there's multiple, I thought.
Okay, right. So then I saw the first one.
We're going to hit a quick break. We're going to talk a little bit about practice the last couple of days. We'll talk a little bit about this LSU coach, and you've been laughing, throwing things in the chat. So we're going to get to all of that as well for the folks. But first, tell you about our friends at Export. Parents and athletes protect what matters most with Export mouthguards, trusted by professional athletes, designed by NHL team dentists. Export mouthguards are scientifically tested to help absorb those high-impact hits to protect both your teeth and brain. Export mouthguards have 3 layers of advanced protection, including a patented use of carbon fiber. They custom print that bad boy right to your smile with 3D printing technology, meaning more protection, better performance, max comfort, and clear communication. That way you focus on the game, not the gear. Don't take chances with your safety. Visit exportguards.com/Bobby today and save 15% on your order. Export, protect what matters most. More of the Bobby Carpenter Show with a little practice and potentially a new wide receivers coach coming up next.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
All right, welcome back in the Bobby Carpenter Show. And Cortez Hankton, current wide receivers coach for LSU, also serves as co-offensive coordinator. He's a New Orleans native who joined the staff in 2022, bringing NFL and championship-winning experience from his time at Georgia before being elevated to his current dual role in 2024. Key details about Cortez Hankton: role, co-offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach; experience, former NFL wide receiver and coached at Georgia before coming to LSU, which explains why Caleb Downs said hi to him when he came up and knew exactly who he was. Connection to LSU, grew up in New Orleans, making it coaching at LSU a dream come true. Coaching philosophy emphasizes fundamentals, personal connections with players, and building strong relationships. That, Schlags, is the AI overview.
Nice. AI. And most importantly, the fundamentals, the relationships. And it was great. I was talking to Matty P and Boyer the other day, and I was just kind of reminiscing about like maybe a little bit of the differences of NFL coaches versus college coaches. And one, it was funny because like they're still pissed off that they gave up more than 6 points to Indiana, which I'm like, hell yeah, considering you're one of 3 college defenses in all of college football that through 13 games have only given up like 104, 106 yards and points in 13 games, which is just amazing. And yet you still are pissed that you gave up 13. I'm like, yes. And they know the reason why. And in college, the thing that you don't have to deal with in the league that you do in college is this whole recruiting deal. And so it has to be part of who you bring in. Doesn't necessarily need to be the main thing, but it needs to be a significant thing. Now, I go back then and say, okay, so if recruiting is 1A, then the number 1 has to be the development aspect. And then the calling of the plays. Like, does it have to be there? What do they want to do from an offense coordinator position standpoint? I don't know. So I think he's taken all those things into consideration. But regardless, you owe it to yourself as a CEO, to your players, to even your position coaches that are potentially vying for that job, to create the friction to make sure that you hire the best option that sets your team up for success. And so it's good because regardless, whoever is a position coach or an OC or whatever, your job is to be the content expert of your area, period, dot, best in America, BIA. That's the role at Ohio State.
Proof David Copperfield, Schlags. It's a good breakdown right there.
Thank
Pat, you want to throw up the AFCA All-Americans. By the way, the Sporting News All-Americans should be coming out today at some point.
Come on, Bill. What the Sam Dickens is he over there shopping at? What's that place? Lions Den.
Pat, not just Carson, which, by the way, Carson got first team. He was first team center, if you will. Underneath that, Pat, there's one that talks about all of them. It was great to see Carson Hinsman get it on there because he wasn't anywhere in the AP. And so you've got some new guys that came in there. Carson Hinsman being the first team center. And then you've got the usual suspects. You've got Jeremiah, Arvell, Caleb. Well, I guess on this, it's the first team is Jeremiah, Arvell, Carson, Caleb, and Caden. They were all first team. So you had 5 Carson in there as well. So 5, which is great. Carnell Tate on the second team. Julian Sayin on the second team. Caden Curry on the second team, which he was third team AP, which is what I was like. So I'm going to give him a little pound for that. And then also Luke Montgomery. So another offensive line.
51 for life.
Which is amazing for both of those guys.
Yeah.
Carson, number 1, non-starters last year. Arvell Reese, Caden Curry, Caden McDonald, Julian Sayin, Carson Montgomery, and Luke Montgomery. And so all those guys, Schlags, first-year starters. Now, I'll push Julian aside a little bit because he was a quarterback and it was, freshman year. Caden Curry didn't start as a junior. Caden McDonald wasn't starting as a sophomore. Carson Hinsman started as a sophomore, got benched in his first season as a starter as center. Luke Montgomery had never really played. They were trying to figure out, could he play tackle? Could he play guard? Would he be decent either? And now you have both of those guys, first and second team All-American, Caden Curry as well, getting in there. And you love guys that have waited that long, worked that hard, Schlegs. And it's just, it demonstrates the commitment to the process.
Yep. And it was still great to see him yesterday because the offensive line warms up right outside the weight room, and I saw him, and of course, gas station ready, hey, I need you to come back for a squat day, Ian Moore, it was just great to see all those guys and the tight ends and wide receivers and stuff because I kind of made my way around.
Like Keenan on the field, did you get down there and do some?
No. He actually looks really good. I'm like, dude, you've been working out, bro. He's like, yeah, just when I can every day.
Well, Hartline's out there. He lost his workout buddy, so now he's just a whole sociopath like me, working out by yourself, just really grinding. You lift in a pile of hate. You're just angry because you don't have anybody to talk to. So don't rob me of my hate, Schlegs. It's all I've got left.
No, fuel me with your hate, and then I can funnel it out to make it positive, like rainbows and Skittles. Hey, the other thing too is the AFCA, and I don't know. This goes back to
American
our conversation.
Football Coaches Association.
I know what it is. I know what it is. They have a conference starting on January 11th to the 13th, by the way, which I'll be at with the striking machine and the Hawking strike force measurement, true strength. Anyways, the Football Coaches Association, like they're looking at certain things, like what is the makeup of what people are looking at when they develop all these things that are completely different. You know what I'm saying, Bob? And because Carson has had a fantastic year, and Luke, and I told him this, I was like, man, I tell you what, I really like the way that you pull. It's not like he's pulling and out of control. Like he's always in control, but he plays with a really good base so that if there's a guy coming inside, like boom, he can take that. Like, and he's good because if they're bringing somebody else inside, it's all about the pace.
The base,
space, and angles.
All about that base.
There was
about that break.
There was a great nothing but base was a great CD for my Camaro.
How about
back
Ace
in high
of
school?
Base? No,
Ace of Base, that's a thing, but no, nothing but bass
would
set off car alarms when I put that thing in the Pioneer.
EIN, nothing.
Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. How about our friends at BCKRbacker.com? Go check them out. Premium Buckeye gear. Schlegs has the hat on. It looks good. It feels good. Founded to make the best quality fan gear out there. They've got a lot of different teams now, but they've got the Buckeyes, which is really what you need. And listen, folks, we're rounding out here. We are past the midway point in December. That means you better get your butt in gear and buy some backer gear for your family and friends so they can look sweet next year. It looks good. It feels good. It's going to make you feel sweet when you wear it. It's got free shipping right now. And if you use promo code, all caps, BOBBY at checkout, you're going to get an additional 10% off. So how about that from our friends over at Backer? Check them out. All right, coming up next, we've got our quick headlines.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer flavored beer.
All right, Schlegs, headlines. I don't know if you saw this. Well, do you want to fire in there? I know you put something in the chat, so go ahead.
No, put it up there, Pat. Breaking news to at least me.
What?
Pat, you put it on there? Oh, no, that's the wrong doomajig. Hang on. I put it up there. Ted Ginn.
Yeah.
Ted Ginn. It was in the deal. Ted Ginn, head coach, Columbus Aviators, boys and girls. Big time ball for Teddy. Love it. It's great to see. Bob,
excited about that. I guess
thoughts on Teddy.
Thoughts on Ted? I love Big Ted. He's awesome, man. He's battled some health stuff about 10 years ago. I thought he was going to retire. And Ted Ginn Jr.
Yes.
Ted Ginn Sr. You just said Ted Ginn. Which
Said Teddy Ginn.
Yeah, well, okay. You do understand that the junior implies that his dad has the same name as him.
Yeah, but his dad's up there just winning state championships in the Ville, man.
That's
just
what I
putting
thought.
out.
He's like, maybe he's
Yeah,
retiring.
no, retiring to be the aviator. No, that's a young man's game. This is a young man's game. Great.
So I understand it's a young man's game. You can't just put in there.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. On to the next. Positive juice.
Next. And then Pat just informed me of this, so I got to look this up as well right now. The Ohio Bobcats fired their football coach. Not a great situation. Brian Smith, he'd been investigated as of 57 minutes ago, terminated the contract of Brian Smith for cause. Apparently it had a relationship with possibly one of the student trainers. That's what was rumored. I don't know how all the details of it, but if he was being removed, I mean, I don't know. It sounds kind of like a Sherrone Moore situation there with how it initially transpired.
Yep. Terrible. Bad. Hate to see it. And I mean, Ohio's playing good. They'll rectify it down there in Athens. Really.
They've had they had the run of Frank Solich, Tim Albin, and now Brian Smith, and all three of them, they have been good. Like they've been near the top of the MAC. Tim Albin won a MAC championship before he went to, oh goodness, Carolina, one of the Carolina schools, Charlotte, went to UNC Charlotte. So was down there. And so this is tough because Smith has just gotten there. He'd only been there for maybe, I think this was his first season, maybe his second. And, he had kept that thing humming and rolling. A lot of the coaches had stayed. I know one of my Central Ohio Independence's own D'Angelo Smith, who played at Cincinnati, played there with my brother.
Yeah.
Their defensive backs coach. So I'm hoping that, they find somebody that will maintain some of that staff integrity because it's really been
or they'll hire within, Bob, or they might just hire within because
find someone who hire within to maintain it. You're not going to pull that next thing out because there's a lot more stuff there that we're going to be able to get out of that. So the stuff that I put in that I need to drive a whole segment, you can't just throw in at the end. We've got.
I'm just throwing stuff in there, guys. Don't worry about it.
We got tailgate talk coming up next, Schlegs.
I love tailgate talk.
We get to answer the questions from the folks. You've been pounded away on that keyboard with both thick and frothy keystrokes. So, folks, get the questions in. We'll answer those here coming up next.
Customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, play your game.
All right, welcome back in the Bobby Carpenter Show. Schlegs, I just saw this post here from Mecca Hannah, Thursday night, 8 p.m. on the Ohio podcast, Buckeye Ladies, and the Illuminati podcast on the Ohio podcast.
Illuminati.
Oh, I thought it was the Illuminati. That's some pretty.
No, that's different. That's different things.
You're not into the Illuminati?
All seeing eye. I don't know what they do.
Here's a question for you, Schlegs, from GMAT 8202. And I think this is in response to the Brian Smith firing at Ohio University, and then also Sherrone Moore. And I mean, listen, there's a lot of stuff that I've heard about Lane Kiffin too. What is wrong with these coaches / men who are supposed to be examples for young people?
Yeah, it's hard, man. I don't know.
She said.
I think part of it goes back to, when you make these decisions, and I am one that can speak on it. I'm very fortunate that I've had the same woman since I was 16 years old, and she understands what it is that we do, and we have a lot of very real and honest conversations. And I don't know if it's the handling of the stress, but I always go back to lean on where do you go and cast that anxiety or those different things on? And if it's not the Lord and it's things of this world or things of the flesh, it's easy to fall. And that's why you don't ever judge, because there's a multitude of ways of doing it. It could be what you look at on your phone or on Instagram or whatever. It's the same damn thing. It's just not with another person, but you're harming the person that you care about. So I don't ever judge these things. And I go back and that statement, I understand your point, but there's also a lot of really good people that are impacting those young people on the ground level every single day. So though it may happen to the head coach, doesn't necessarily mean that they're not being impacted in a positive way. It sucks, especially because we're fans of that university, or we have people that we know through friendships or whatnot that are on there that we know that are doing the right thing and instilling and investing and impacting these young people. It just sucks to see it in the most high profile positions because it directly does impact them and what they do moving forward in a bowl game, in the offseason, in the portal. It impacts their staff. It impacts their staff's families. It impacts the players' families. So there's just, you have to be very mindful of that, but you also got to know who your mat carriers are when you get in this situation and have friends that are there and strong enough to tell you the honest things and not be there just because you're the one that is providing them a job, but you are a friend first, and you're going to give them some godly wisdom as they go through these situations because we all face them.
So a couple things on this before we get moving on. Number one, it makes you appreciate when you have a head coach like the one that we have at Ohio State, who is a great coach and most importantly, a good man, father, and husband, which I always try to tell people just – and they're like, well, that's kind of a secondary thing. I'm like, it is.
It is
until it's not. And then it comes down to it. I go from King David to JFK. One thing is undefeated. And listen, it's taken down many great men. All these guys are fallible. They're human beings. They make mistakes. And the sad thing is, their mistakes are on full display, despite their family. And it's going to impact, their family, but also their players, their coaches, their staff, everybody. And like I said, it just makes you appreciate the good guys. There's a lot of good guys in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why you will hear us defend some of those coaches when maybe their on-field performance hasn't been up to par, because hey, just give some of these other guys enough time. They will eventually have enough rope to hang themselves. The guys that do it the right way, they will eventually rise to the top, and it'll all balance out. But it's a tough job. It's a tough thing, and these guys are very powerful men, and the temptation is real, and it's there. It's omnipresent, Schleich. So that's why I always tell Ryan how grateful I am for him, and I just want everybody to understand how big of a deal that is, because it's awesome to win, but it's even better to win the right way and with the right team. So,
and I will say this too, even Bob, like Ryan's priorities on what he's doing for his staff and his players, but even his family, when we're talking about, because Grace, his daughter who's playing basketball, like just what she's doing on the court and her mindset, and RJ being here at the Armory with Jay and stuff like that. Like those are the things that we talk about because they are the most important. But then you see him, boom, and he goes and he addresses the team in the manner in which he should address the team. And you're like, absolutely. And everything that he's saying is authentically him. And you're just like, that's why we appreciate you being the head football coach at Ohio State, because he's also representing us as well. And I will say this last thing. I always tell my kids, I will never embarrass you. Now, granted, your dad is somewhat embarrassing and very social.
That's a pretty big comment.
Right? But I would say this. I will never do anything that will embarrass you or your mom. It's like I'm always thinking about those things.
When you say that, that's all forward. That's all forward facing, nothing you have done. It says, I will never do anything. Not I haven't done anything.
No. And I'm also very transparent. They know of the Anthony Rodriguez. They know of the shaved eyebrows. Like, because you tell them. So It's okay. And they're like, well, Dad, you did that. I was like, yes, but that's why I'm also your dad. And that was stupid. So wise people learn from the mistakes of others.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm investing in you. All right.
100%. 100%. All right. Coming up, we will wrap up the show with the parting thoughts and side nuggets of one Anthony Schlegel.
Passes up.
New customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, play your game.
All right, so you got a minute to go. Before we get you out of here, I got one more question, though, for you. When you go on your interview, Schlegs, do you wear suits or just your finest dress shorts?
I love that. That's a great comment. But here's what I do, everybody. I literally will ask, what is the lowest level of appropriate dress for this event, interview, whatever? And then I will make sure that looks very nice. That's how I do it.
Stay classy, not trashy.
Yeah, I just want to be there because I want the personality. Like, I don't have to wear a suit to exude, whatever it is that I exude. I don't know what I exude, but I don't need anything else. I don't need to spice it up. You got enough spice when I'm in the room. Anyways, throw up the thing about Kyle Whittingham. Can I talk about that, Bob? Is that okay?
You got a minute left. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, guys, you know what? We put this up there. Kyle Whittingham stepping down. And I want your thoughts on this too, Bob. Stepping down after the past 21. It's been an honor and privilege to lead the program for the past 21 years. Guys, that type of longevity and continuity within a staff is staggering in this day and age. And, he came in, I believe, matter of fact, I know, he came in after Urban.
He was there on Urban. He was Urban's D coordinator.
And so for that rise of being in the Mountain West and then going now into the Big 12, I believe they're in the Pac-12, and then now into the Big 12, and how Utah has risen up. Kudos to a job well done, because it's you always respected the way Utah played. They always played very, very hard, and that is indicative of their head football coach. And I thought he's done it the right way for a very, very long time.
He's done it a great way. He's done a great job. He's done it the right way. Now retiring, Schlegs to ride that Harley. That is it. We will be retiring for today. We'll be back tomorrow at noon here with our guy, Mr. Ben Scott Stevens, here on the Bobby Carpenter Show.